Welcome back, dear children. Now we will move to our next topic, floating and sinking. In our day-to-day life, we can see that few substances will sink in water, whereas others float on water. Isn't it? Have you noticed this? When you put an object, few substances, not an object, if you put certain substances in water, it will sink. Sinking means what? Will go deep into water, whereas some will stay near the surface. So, as an example, when you are considering a wooden block, okay, a small block of wood, if you put this block of wood in a beaker containing water, what happens? It floats, isn't it? That is, you can see this block of wood lying near the surface of water. Now, instead of that, if you put an iron nail, what happens? This iron nail will go deep into the water, isn't it? That means it will sink. So, an iron nail will sink in a beaker containing water, whereas a block of wood floats on it. Now, what is the reason for that? We will check the densities of these substances. Okay. Now, in the case of iron, its density is 7.8 gram per centimeter cube. Okay. Density of iron is 7.8 gram per centimeter cube. If you take wood, its density is 0.76 or 77 gram per centimeter cube. Okay. And what about the density of water? Already we learned about the density of water. Density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube in CGS system. And in SI system, how much is the density of water? It is 1000 kilogram per meter cube, isn't it? Since I have written all the things in CGS system, here also I will be writing the density of water in CGS system. Okay. Now, just compare the densities. We are putting iron and wood in a beaker containing water. So, first, when you compare iron and water, density of iron is 7.8 gram per centimeter cube, whereas that of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. That means density of iron is greater than that of water, isn't it? 7 and 1. So, 7 is naturally greater than 1. So, density of iron is greater than 1. And here, iron sinks in water. Okay. Now, look at the density of wood. It is 0.7. Density of water is 1. Which one is greater? 1 is greater, isn't it? So, here density of wood is less than that of water. That means here already we told that a block of wood floats on water. Now, what is the reason for flotation and sinking? It depends on the density, isn't it? So, when you are considering an iron nail, density of iron is greater than that of water. So, an iron nail sinks in water. But when you are considering a block of wood, density of wood is less than that of water. So, wood will float on water. I think the concept is clear. Okay. So, what should you remember here? Floating and sinking depends on the density of the substance. Substances with greater density than the liquid will sink in the liquid, and substances with density less than the liquid will float on the liquid. Okay. Now, another example about ice. So, when you put an ice cube in a glass containing water, will the ice cube float or sink? Ice cube floats on water. Do you know what is the density of ice? Density of ice is 0.9 gram per centimeter cube. That is, it is slightly less than that of water. So, what happens? Since density of ice is less than that of water, ice floats on water. Okay. So, if the density of a substance is less, then it will float. If the density of an object is greater, it will sink. In all the cases, it is not compulsory that it should be water itself. It can be any liquid. Okay. So, if in general, what you can say is, if the density of an object is greater than the density of the liquid, that object will sink. And if the density of the object is less than the density of the liquid, that object will float. Okay. So, I think it is clear. Now, one more thing you have to keep in mind, that is an object. You can consider an object, and if that object sinks in water, it doesn't mean that it will sink in all the liquids. An object which sinks in one liquid may float in another liquid. Okay. For example, aluminium. When you are taking aluminium, it will sink in water. Okay. Why? Because density of aluminium is greater than that of water. So, aluminium will sink in water. But if that same piece of aluminium is immersed in mercury, it will float. Why? Because density of aluminium is less than the density of mercury. Okay. So, when we compare the density, by comparing the density of the object as well as the liquid, we can say whether the object will sink or float. Objects with greater density will sink and the object with less density will float. Okay. So, is it clear now? We have discussed about floating and sinking. Flotation and sinking can be explained only on the basis, not only, can be explained on the basis of density. If the density of a substance is greater than the liquid, the object will sink. If the density of the object is less than that of the liquid, that will float. So, we have discussed 3 examples here. First one was with iron nail and wooden block. So, when an iron nail is immersed in water, it will sink because density of iron is greater than that of water. But a block of wood will float because density of wood is less than that of water. Then, in the case of ice and water, density of ice is 0.9, density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So, ice always floats on water. And the next thing what you should remember is, when you are considering aluminium, not only aluminium, when you are considering a substance, it may sink in a liquid, but the same substance may float on another liquid. Okay, because floating and sinking depends on the density. Example is with aluminium. When you are considering aluminium, it will sink in water because its density is greater than that of water. But the same aluminium will float on mercury because density of aluminium is less than that of mercury. Okay. So, is it clear now? Now, when a solid floats on water or any liquid, the submerged part of the solid depends on the difference in the densities of the solid and the liquid. Okay. That is, already we learned that if the density of a solid is less than that of the liquid, it will float, isn't it? So, when an object floats on water or any liquid, some part, it can float with some part inside water or under water and some part above water, or the entire part of the solid under water. Here I have the beaker. Okay. So, if an object is immersed in it, it can float either with some portion, in any way it can float or inside this, isn't it? So, submerged part means the part of the solid which is under the water surface. That is known as submerged part. Okay. Now, how much portion of the object is under water? That depends on the difference in the densities of the solid as well as the liquid. Okay. So, when you are putting the, say, Here I will give you an example. I am going to consider an object. Okay, let it be a wooden piece, and this three identical beakers are taken. Okay, three identical beakers are taken. In one I am taking water. In another one I will be taking mercury and in another one I will be taking glycerin. Okay, three different liquids are taken in three identical beakers. Now, if you put a small piece of wood in the same piece, okay, if I put a small piece of wood in this, let it be like this. In another one, let it be completely underwater. Here, most of the part is outside water. That is the submerged part of the solid. Submerged part means how much part is under water. Okay. The submerged part of the solid depends on the difference in the densities of the solid and the liquid. Okay. So if there is a greater difference in the densities of the solid and the liquid, then the lesser will be the submerged part. That is another important thing which you should remember. Okay. That is the submerged part of the solid will be different in different liquids. If you are putting the same solid in different liquids, the submerged part of that solid body will be different in different liquids. The reason is the submerged part, how much part of the body gets underwater. It depends on the difference in the densities of the solid and the liquid. If the difference in the densities of the solid and liquid is more, okay, difference means what? One is having greater density and the other one is having less density. So if the difference between the densities of the solid and liquid is more, then only small part of the solid will be submerged. Okay. So it's a very important point. Now, what all things we can conclude from these things? Sinking and floating depends on the density, isn't it? So if an object is having greater density, that object will sink. Objects with less density will float. Then an object which sinks in one liquid may float on another liquid. And the last one, submerged part of a solid depends on the difference in the densities of the solid and the liquid. Clear? So these are the things which you should remember. Now one application based on sinking and floating is given in your textbook. So that is a nail made up of iron sinks in water, whereas a ship made up of iron floats on water. So what is the reason? Okay, I'll repeat. An iron nail sinks in water, whereas a ship made up of iron floats on water. What is the reason? Nail as well as ship, both are made up of iron. But iron nail will sink, whereas the ship will float. Do you know what is the reason behind this? When you are considering iron nail, or density of iron is much greater than that of water, so naturally it should sink. That is why iron nail gets sinked. Okay, iron nail sinks. But when you are considering a ship, in a ship there are many hollow spaces. Okay, many hollow spaces are there in a ship which is filled with water. Sorry, air, not water, air. In a ship, there are many hollow spaces filled with air. And density of air, when you are considering the density of air, it is less compared with that of water. Okay, so when you consider the average density of the ship, that is the ship with the air present in the hollow spaces plus the load as well as the people, its average density is less than that of the density of water. That is why ship can float on water. Okay, so even though ship is made up of iron and and density of iron is greater than that of water, but the ship won't sink. The reason is there are many hollow spaces in ship which is filled with the air, and this naturally reduces the density, and so the average density of the ship with the load as well as the people will be less than that of water. That is the reason why ship floats on water. Okay. Now, have you heard about plimsoll lines? So, where on a ship, on the hull of the ship, on the surface, you can see many white color lines like this, and some writings will be there. So, have you noticed that? Those lines are known as plimsoll lines. Okay. So this actually tells us up to what the ship should be loaded with the cargo. If it is moving in sea, or this first line or the second line should be visible. That is, the ship should sink only up to this level. Okay. So based on the density of water, when you are considering the density of river water, sea water, or in ocean, it will be different. So based on the density, the ship should be loaded. Okay, ship should be loaded based on the density of the water through which it is moving. So this line, if it is moving through sea water, a particular line will be marked there. That line should be on the surface of water. Again, if you are loading things, that line will go down. That means there is a chance that the ship will sink. Okay. So that is known as plimsoll lines. Based on the plimsoll lines, normally the ships will be loaded. So many lines you can see based on the density, difference in the density of water. In sea water it will be different, ocean, rivers and all, it will be different. So when a ship is moving through a particular sea or an ocean, it should be loaded only up to that particular marking or the plimsoll line, so that it can move safely, else there is a chance for sinking. Okay. So is it clear till this? Okay. Thank you.